Well, yeah, what could I be doing today? I'm not racing this weekend, so I got some projects I got to get done around the house. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. Should be interesting. Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's project, it's a pool project. If anybody ever had to clean out their filters in the pool, you know how much water you use to clean these filters. Okay, a lot of water comes out of the filter container where all the filters are in. A lot of water comes out of there. Plus it takes a lot of water to clean the filters. Well, what I'm going to come up with is a way, especially where my pump is located at, it's in kind of the backyard. I don't have that good drainage where all this water, where I'm going to clean the stuff out or let the water out of the filter housing. So I'm going to come up with a way to get this water away from where the water usually stays and go ahead and drain that water on out. Plus when I'm cleaning the filters, I'm going to have a way where I can clean the filters. As I'm cleaning it, the water drains away from where I'm washing at, because I don't want to stand in puddles of water, right? No one does. So anyway, yeah, you can use a five gallon bucket. I'm going to show you how I'm going to set this bucket up and how I'm going to clean the filter. So basically with the 5 gallon bucket, I'm going to be putting the filter in here. Okay, so all my washing and all that stuff, the majority of all the dirt, all the spraying out is actually going to go down into the bucket. Okay, so I'm just going to set the filter here, and then I'll wash it and get all the dirt coming out of there. But I need a fitting on here to drain the water as I clean it. I need to put a fitting on here so I can drain the water to a place where where the water needs to go. Like I said, I don't want it sitting around by my feet, any of that, or just a lot of standing water, because it does take a considerable amount of time to clean these filters. On an average hour minimum to an hour and a half. Sometimes I heard people have spent over 2 hours cleaning these filters out. There's 4 of them. So anyway, so I'm going to come up with a way to clean these filters in a way where I'm not always standing in the water, and have a place where the water drains. And I'll show you where my yard's at, where my pump, my equipment's at, and the reason why I have to drain the water out from where it's at and stuff. I have the best drainage there, but nevertheless, I like to put the water where I need it and not where I don't need it. Okay, went to the hardware store, picked up these 2 fittings, okay, and the objective is to get these. Let me put the camera down a second. Let's see if this makes sense. Okay, I'm going to cut a hole in the side of the bucket here. Okay. This is going to be on one side, this is going to be on the other. Okay, then I need to sandwich the bucket between this. But the problem with these type of fittings is there's going to be a gap here. Okay, that's not good. So I found some plastic laying around here in the shop, and basically that will close the gap up and should sandwich between these two. This bucket's not that thick. So once hopefully I can get the fitting with this on, get some silicone, sandwich it, tighten it up, and I should have an output here. Okay, then from this output here, I'm going to have a piece of pipe coming off here, and I'm going to have this union fitting on it. And I'll show you why I have to use these union fittings. Okay, change of plans. I think instead of putting it on the side, what that's going to do is going to let a lot more water in the bucket for the water actually drain out. What I think I'm going to do is put it on the bottom. One, it's a good flat surface, so it's got a good place to bond it to. But I just have to find a way to elevate this bucket off the ground so I can connect a fitting to this. So basically I'm going to probably come in and purchase, actually goes this way, get a fitting to 90 degree to plug it in so we can drain it. So I have to find a way to put this bucket up on something so we can have a proper drainage for it. So anyway, I'll figure that out as the time comes, but for now we'll go ahead and get this like this, and I'll deal with the rest here in a little bit. So here we go. It's gonna be hard. There we go. Okay, got this all mocked up. This is the output. This is what it looks like on the inside. I just need to get it all mocked up. Get some silicone in there and call it good. But just realize, look how much water has to go in here before it goes on the outside. So what I might do is trim this piece down here and get it more flush toward the bottom. So, okay, time to get this all out. Okay, you can see how it's not quite flush on the bottom, but still gonna have water, you know, up a good inch or so. So hard to say, it would be better from the side or from the bottom, but kind of like this approach better. I don't know. I'll show you what I did to that piece of plastic. It basically cut it off. Okay, so it used to be like this. Cut this section off and kind of made like a nut, if you will. I think it's going to work out. Okay, what I'm going to do next is going to take some clear silicone and put some on this ring here and probably around the threads, just to get something sealed on the bottom of the bucket, so it makes a fairly decent tight seal, so not too much water will come out there. So I know it's not going to be 100% sealed, but I think it's going to be close enough where I think we'll be okay. So let's get that in. Okay, you can see down at the bottom it's kind of oozed out a little bit down here, so that should keep things sealed up pretty good. Like I said, water's going to come up to here so far, then it's going to drain right down the middle. So okay, see if I can explain all this. So I went back to the hardware store and got a 90. Okay, so I got the tube in here, PVC pipe in here to this coupler here, into the 90, then back out to this union. Okay, the reason why I have a union on my pump, I have a pipe that's coming out, it's going to have the union as well. This piece here, once I get my flex pipe on the end of this, this will adapt to this guy here or over on my pump, filter pump, or yeah, where the filter is connected. And I'll show you a picture of how all this is going to work and all that stuff. So anyway, this way I can just use one of these and I can adapt it to either here or on my filter housing. So anyway, hope that makes sense. Once I get it all fully operation, I will the picture will show you exactly what we're trying to do. Anyway, then I need to get this off the ground. Obviously I can't have this sit in the ground because this might hurt it and damage it and all that stuff, right? So got one of these, have this laying around the house. It's a flower pot, and all I have to do is cut out this here, get that cut out, and that will fit right on here. I'll show you. I got another bucket here. Okay, so basically it's going to be off the ground. It'll come out the bottom there, no problem. Should be sturdy enough, hopefully. Now you can see why it's off the ground, why this is important. Keep this not on the ground. The hose will adapt on here, so all the washing will go on here with the filters. Water go in here, it'll come out here onto my hose, so I don't get a lot of it just right here when I'm doing a lot of washing and stuff. This is where all my pool pump heater is, the pump, the filter. Anyway, this is what I was talking about down here. I stuck a pipe coming out of my filter in a shutoff valve. Then on the end is where this coupler is going to go on. I just stuck this on temporary. So when I put my drain pipe on, it's going to adapt here. Okay, screw this. The hose here will come outside. I can drain the water away from here. Everybody change some of these. The amount of water that comes out of here is a lot. Since I'm in an enclosed area here, I do not want to take a chance of flooding this area. So this is why I did all this stuff. Line goes all the way. Close to here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open this valve here, and that should let all the water out of this guy. That's what happens. Hope it works. By doing it this way, hardly have any water in here, except you can see some water down here from taking the filters out. Pretty much drained everything. So next I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and flush all this out, disconnect this, and this will be all ready to get the new filters back in. Okay, that's all cleaned out now. That lid's all cleaned out. O-ring's all clean. Sometimes you don't clean that, you could leak. I got one of these all cleaned. Got these three to clean up. Show you. That goes in there. Then we just basically hose it down. So I think it's gonna work out just fine. And the water goes way out there. Out here. Horsefly. Okay, all the filters on. Just need to get the lid and the plastic piece that goes on top of there. So let's get that in place. We can fire this pump up. Okay, this is a piece on. Just make sure it's slipped over there, and it's actually sitting in all the filters evenly as you can. Oops. And the lid will go on top of that. One thing to make certain is this seal right here is very clean, and the lid around its seal is very clean. If not, it will develop an air leak. So let's go ahead and get that on and tighten it up. Tighten this up. This is a 3/4 bolt or a nut. Okay, it's getting pretty snug there. There. You don't want to over tighten it, but you want it tight enough where it doesn't leak. Okay, let's fire up the system. I did not have to prime our pump. It actually will prime itself. Now if you have to prime it, you might have to add water to it. So exit out of the service mode. Okay, by default it will turn the pump on high. This valve is open for air. You want the top to be open so you can evacuate the air. So we'll start to see water coming in here, and that thing will start to hiss. There. As this water starts to come out of here, once the water starts coming out, we'll close the valve on top. Okay. You want this thing to be perfectly clear, no bubbles. If you do have bubbles, either there's still air in here, or this did not get tight enough. So check for air again. That air there, once you start squirting out, should be good. Check your gauge, see where it's running at. Set the green, not too high. The red is critical. So right now it's running about 18 pounds. Okay, if it is leaking like mine, you can try to tighten the band up a little bit more. Or I'm going to have to bleed the system again and check my seal. I thought I checked it once, but it appears to be leaking. Drain the water again, clean the seal. Learn by me. Yeah, there's a little bit of dirt on it. I don't know if you can see that or not. So what I'm going to do is totally wipe the ring, wipe everything off, get it good and dry before I put it back on. I'll try it again. Okay, I got everything good and clean. There's actually a lot of dirt on that back side I just overlooked. This seal does only go one way. You kind of have a flat portion, and you got kind of a rounded portion of it. The flat goes down, and the rounded the rounded portion of it goes up. That's what connects to the lid. So make sure you do that correctly. Let's go ahead and okay. That ring is good down. I'll clean the lid. Let's try it again. All back together. So we'll turn it back on. Exit. Okay. Again. Pretty clear now. Don't see hardly any bubbles. No leaks. About the same pounds. So once it gets up and running for a little bit, then just bleed in more air on it. There. So yeah, that's why it's very important to clean that seal. And I told you earlier in the video how to clean it. I guess I didn't clean it good enough. So just take your time, clean that, and you won't have any leaks. So that should be running clean, no bubbles. So anyway, hope you enjoy this video. Hopefully it's informational. Something you want to do. Hey, not a lot of mess out here with water. So anyway, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Hey, never know. Hope you got something out of this video.